But this week is an exciting week, or should be an exciting week. Right now we are on our way to a baby appointment, so that should be exciting to see the baby. And not sure what else they're doing. Then at the end of the week we have our movers coming to bring our stuff finally. So happy to be getting our couch and our bed and just everything else. And then our Jeep is actually here in Europe, but it's not here yet. So we still have to wait for that, but hopefully that's soon that we get it. But I'm so excited because this week should be so exciting, just to finally get our stuff together, get on a schedule and whatnot. So I will update you after the baby appointment. You guys, this view is so different from Hawaii. It's so cold right now here.
It's not so cold.
Okay, from Hawaii, it's so cold.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you.
Okay, so it's been many hours and a nap later. It's actually already 9:15 p.m. and I had my doctor's appointment this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we were there for like 3 hours. 3 hours. That was the longest appointment that I've ever had with my OB, but we went over a lot of things that we should have gone over the first time I was there. I don't know why we didn't, but this was a new doctor. She just got there a month ago, and she was like, I was her first patient that she was seeing for the first time alone. So I really liked her, actually. Better than the last doctor that I had. And yeah, so we just went over everything, so I just wanted to talk about that in today's video. So I am currently 12 weeks and 4 days, almost 13 in a few days. And I just wanted to talk about everything that we talked about. She did an abdominal ultrasound. I'm not too sure when they stopped transvaginal ultrasounds. I should look that up, because I feel like I like them better just because you get a better picture of the baby versus an abdominal ultrasound. Because, so I've got 2 pictures, but there's nothing on here, right? But it's just like, they're boo-boo pictures. But this is our little baby. Also, don't mind my nails. I still haven't gotten them done if you watched my last video. But this is our little baby. I think she said it was upside down. Or not facing us. That's what she said. So it is so much bigger versus the first time we met when we went. Obviously, because it's growing. We got to hear the heartbeat, and then we literally, Ada and I just kept on asking her questions, but just because I had a lot more this time around, I don't know what, but that's what we did. So the nurse took me back into the room, and then she did like my vitals and my weight. Everything looked good, and I guess if you've ever been to an OB or a doctor's office, they always ask like, oh, do you have any questions for the doctors? And then they try to answer them as best as they can, and if they can't, the doctor will go over as well. So I asked her a few questions. I wanted to ask her about high blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure, but it does run in my family, and I felt like I was having symptoms of it, to be honest, if that's a thing. So I asked her about it, and also I wanted to mention that at our last base, I went to see my doctor I only went to the doctor once, and it was for birth control when I first got to Hawaii. And so that was like, what, 2.5 years ago. So when she did my vitals, she like checked my heart rate or whatever and my blood pressure, and she said it was kind of high, but she wasn't like too worried about it. And then that was it. She never followed up or anything. So I had told the nurse that I was like, some days like I feel like I have it, if that's possible, and then other days I'm great. So when she did my vitals, she goes, everything looks good, and then normal, and just like from the last couple of visits that I've had as well, everything looked normal and good. So they're not worried about it for now. And then I wanted to talk about, I can't say this word, gestational diabetes. So diabetes run in my family a lot, and so that was one of the questions I've had like for them, just because I know like gestational diabetes you can get easily while you're pregnant. Gestational diabetes develops during your pregnancy, so it's just like any other type of diabetes. So that's why I was kind of concerned, because I have other family members who have it, and I just wanted to make sure like I don't have it, and if I do have it, to catch it early on. I talked to the nurse about it, and she was like, normally they don't do those tests until like 20 something weeks, even I think she said 16 weeks. Honestly, they can tell if you have it through a glucose test. Everyone goes through that test every pregnancy you have, so it's normal to take those tests. That was the nurse that I was talking to about it. And then later on, when I was talking to the doctor about it, she did say, like, she brought it up because I talked about it to the nurse, and she says that because of my height and weight ratio, she recommends me getting my glucose test like done now, even though I'm only 12 weeks, almost 13 weeks, just because height and weight ratio is just, I'm very short. I'm not overweight or anything, but I'm just very short, and I'm not skinny or anything. So that was one of the factors that she wanted me to take it. And then the other thing was because I'm Hispanic, and since it does run in my family, I guess I'm more prone to it and more at like higher risk to get it. So that is why I took it at 12 weeks. I posted a picture of the drink on my Instagram story, and so many people messaged me about it, saying like, why am I taking it so early? They got it done when they were like 20 something weeks. And so I was going through my DMs and was just answering everyone like, it's because I'm Hispanic. No, it's just not that. But just like everything that she said, it's just, I'm more prone to get it. So I did the 1 hour glucose test, and let me tell you, that drink, it was a lemon lime flavor, and I guess there's different flavors because so many people were like, oh, they liked that drink, or they liked that flavor and they hated that flavor. So the lemon lime flavor was not terrible at all, but just the way it made you feel, I was like, ugh. So like the first couple drinks, I was like, okay, like this is not bad. But then you're all like, you have to drink, I think you have to drink it in like within 5 minutes. So then like, you're not even halfway and you're all like, you have a minute left. So you start chugging it. And I just didn't feel the greatest when I took it, or when I drank it. And then I had to wait 1 hour there in the office. They like have to like watch us, I don't know, and whatnot. So I did that, and I haven't gotten the results back yet. I am able to look online for them, but they're not in there yet. So maybe tomorrow, and I'll update you guys in my next video about it. But so they did that as well, and then they had to take my blood. If you guys watched my last video or my video before that, you guys saw that I went to the ER and I had an IV put into me, and they couldn't find a vein in my arm, or a good vein. So this time around, I told like the nurse who took my blood, I was like, supposedly it's hard to get a good vein of mine. So, and she was like in a rush, and I was kind of annoyed because she just like was just gonna get the needle and just prick me right away. After she tied the little, what is it called, tourniquet, is that what it's called, or band around my arm. So I had to tell her like it's gonna be hard trying to find a vein, so can you be careful. I didn't really say be careful, but I was like kind of hesitant. But she pricked me anyways, and she, like, the blood, if you've gotten blood drawn, you know there's like a tube connected to the needle, and then the tube, or the tube connects to like the bottle where the blood goes into. So my blood didn't even go halfway down to the tube. I'm like, told you. And I literally said that because she just like was just trying to hurry up, and she was getting so annoyed because a baby was getting its blood taken and too in there, and he was crying, and it was so sad. And she was getting annoyed because of that, so it got me annoyed. And they took so much blood, a lot of blood, and like during halfway I like started feeling lightheaded, and this is my second time getting my blood drawn, so I was like, I don't like this. The first time they did it, they messed up and they had to do it again. My arm bruised, and it was bruised for like weeks, and it looked so terrible. So I was like, great. When I started feeling like that, I'm like, I'm gonna pass out right here in the room, and just great. So I told her I started feeling lightheaded, so she's like, okay, like just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, keep my eyes open, because like I couldn't keep my eyes open. I don't know why. Like they just felt so heavy. And then like at one point, like for 5 seconds, like no kidding, like I could see her and she was talking to me, but I couldn't hear her. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening to me? Like I've never felt this way before. I've never fainted or anything. So I'm like, okay, is this what fainting feels like? Like, do you still see people and just like not hear them? I don't know. She laid me down as well, and then put an ice pack on my chest, and then she was like, 3 more tubes to go. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm hurting and feel like crying with the baby, and finally she was done, and I just laid there for a few minutes, and then I was fine. So that finished as well. I also had to do another urine sample because if you watched my last video, you know that I went into the ER for my nausea, and because I was just throwing up that whole day, and they determined that I had a UTI. And get this, my doctor told me, or the doctor I seen today, she was like, back up, sorry, I'm like getting ahead of myself. So I was having this pain on my right side of my stomach, and I mean, it wasn't pain and it wasn't cramping, but it's just like, it just felt like there was like a tennis ball in my stomach, and just like I can feel it like every time I laid on my stomach. It just felt very uncomfortable. So, and then I told her about that, and so she pushed it down on my side, and it went from my side to like the middle of my stomach, but wasn't hurting on my left side or anything. So she was like, well, from my previous doctor's appointment, since I had the UTI, it could still be that I have a UTI and it just never went away, or it could just be my uterus growing, basically. And then she goes to say that we are going to do another urine sample, because when I did my urine sample at the ER, they can't get results back on urine within a few hours. She said it takes 2 days. 2 days. And they just determine it by my symptoms that I was having and whatnot. So when she said that, I got super annoyed by it, because I'm never going back to the ER for anything anymore, because what if, like, I don't know, something serious was happening and they're just gonna rule me out with a UTI? And so I probably didn't even have a UTI to begin with. So I had to do another urine sample, like I said, and then she also said that my urine sample, like the cup, or I don't know, I don't know if they handled it wrong or whatever, but it was contaminated. Not my urine itself, but like I guess my urine, I don't know. She said it was contaminated, so she couldn't go back and look at it because it was contaminated. So I did that urine sample as well. I haven't gotten the results back. I will be able to check online, so hopefully that they post that soon, so I can find out if I do have a UTI still, or if I even had one in the beginning. I'm out of breath for talking. We also talked about getting genetic testing done. She said it's very rare that they do it in the first trimester, and how women do get it done during the first trimester if you're higher risk. So I'm not high risk right now, so she said that I'm very unlikely to get an appointment during my first trimester, and I'm about to end my first trimester anyways, so she scheduled me for genetic testing in my second trimester. I don't think I have a set date yet. And then gender results. So they don't do gender until the 20-week anatomy scan, which is super annoying because she said that they can tell the gender at 14 weeks, but they don't want to be like wrong, so that's why they wait until the 20-week anatomy scan basically. But she did say like a lot of people find off base places, and so I did find one. I have to look to see how many weeks you have to be to see if you can find the gender or not, so we can be finding out the gender soon because I'm almost 13 weeks and she said 14 weeks is pretty common, so maybe within not this month, but maybe within the next few weeks we will be finding out the gender, which is super exciting because I haven't bought anything. Well, that's a lie. I have bought gender neutral onesies back when I was in California, but now it's just kind of getting harder because everything is so like not gender neutral, so I can't wait to find out what my baby is and start setting up its nursery. I'm so excited to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that we talked about today. It was a lot. That's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, and if you guys are not already, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys hit that red button down below and become a part of our family. So yeah, see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
All that time away from you, I didn't think I'd make it without you by my side. Let me feel your love again. Just the two of us and we could stay up all night.